Hey, welcome to the Asylum weekly podcast. What we do every week, just now on a different channel. This is episode 64. Sorry for the slight delay. We were trying, as in good old Asylum fashion, we were trying new things. Probably a little bit too late, and so we had some technical difficulties. It looked like it was going to go fine, and then it didn't. So if you can let us know, as usual, if sound is okay, if there's any issues, if any of these two look uglier than usual, then, feel free to say in chat. Not much I can do about it, but it's worth saying it anyway. Other than that...
It's hitching.
That's
exactly what I was about to say. No, I'm hitching. There's a little bit of a... We got a little bit of a stutter going on. I don't know about it.
I'm just ugly. Nothing that you can do about it.
Audio seems good, but just the webcams. Okay. So the only other thing is if it's because I'm in the Lightroom and it's downloading it twice. Could be. I don't look like a Minecraft boy anyway. Well, that bit worked at least. But now it's fucked everything else up because everything else is going jaggedy. I can see it on the output thing that it's going. Let me try and I've got that paused.
So we're professional. Welcome to the problems that we face when we try new things.
Yeah. Okay, so if it's not going to work, I mean, this was happening to Box, so I don't know if it's the platform issue or whether it's me, but okay, what I'll do is I'll leave my webcam out of it, and I'll come back in on the other thing and see if it works that way. I'll leave here.
Welcome, everybody. Just hold on to your buttholes, because this is going to be pucker time.
Okay, here we go. How do I leave it? Here it is. Log out. See if it works. Okay, mine's disappeared. Now if I can just add my webcam. Oh shit! Don't do that. Don't do that. Someone else talk while I just sort this out.
Now let's just see if the hitching goes first, because I'm on me, so I'm just going to kind of move myself around and go do. Now the hitching's definitely improved.
Do the bubble head. Come on.
Don't look so good to me. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I would say the hitching's gone now. So it's all you, basically.
It's all me. I need to. Someone pay to upgrade my internet, please. I need new interwebs.
It's gone. It's gone.
Maybe it's the Lightroom, but I have to figure that stuff out later.
It's not. It's the internet.
It's the. I was going to say. This is funny. Do you know what's funny in chat?
What the hell has happened to my camera?
On my end, it's the computer. On Miserable's end, it's the internet.
Yeah.
On Box end, we don't know yet because we still haven't got him working. But we were trying to get him working before the stream, but it didn't quite work. We didn't give enough time.
I've got like 30 webcams.
We gave the guy like 20 minutes beforehand to go. Right, okay, Box, you're up. Go for it. He's like, what? I can't handle this.
We should be back. It should be good. Fingers crossed.
2 minutes last minute.
Those M&Ms at the screen. Business as usual. Look, we're trying to get better each time. The internet foils us every week. There will come a week. I was hoping this week would be nice and smooth, but no.
Yeah. There's like all these little leprechauns walking down our internet lines and kicking over bits and bytes, and you get this kind of things.
It's literally it's lemmings. We're like
lemmings. Yeah,
our internet server is the lemming server line. It just goes off the end. It dies.
That's what living in Wales does to you, I'm afraid. Fucking sheep on the line. So anyway, guys, welcome to the new channel. Hopefully it's all working okay now. I just realized that I don't have enough bandwidth to put my webcam in more places than one, only where the sun doesn't shine. This is episode 64. We are now on our new channel. This will be the home for the Asylum podcast for the foreseeable future until we fuck something up and get banned. And then we'll go back to our own channels. Now, we did plan to do another sort of alternative podcast at the end. But we think that we probably need a little bit more time to tweak this. So what we're going to probably do is we're going to do the Asylum. We haven't named it yet, but at the moment we're going to call it After Hours because it's the best name we've got. So Asylum After Hours, we're going to do we're going to do it recorded, and then we'll probably upload it to YouTube if it looks okay. It may need heavy editing. It's only because it's going to be a different format. and basically means that because we've not done it before, there's bound to be technical issues. So we're going to maybe do like a dry test run. We'll call it the pilot episode, and then we'll edit it and then upload it to YouTube. Then hopefully next week we will be doing the 2 podcasts in one for you all. So after hours, it's like boobs and camming. Exactly. it's for subs only.
Behind a paywall. I just wanted to say that. Yeah,
behind the
totally behind a paywall. Totally behind a paywall.
That's why we got you here, Zach. It's so you can edit our shit shows afterwards.
If you sub, I will give you my Instagram account. All these sexy pics.
I actually found that on Twitter for the first time today. I clicked on this link and it said, "Oh no, you have to get special permission to see this person's Twitter." I was like, "What the fuck is that all about?"
Oh yeah. Bathing water, yes. I'm already selling my bathing water.
We'll sell some Asylum bath water. Yeah. In fact, we could do one better because they're selling their own individual bath water. We could mix all 3 of ours and literally label it Asylum bath water. special blend. It's all the rage these days.
God.
You know
is that the tweet? Is it you talking about that tweet that went out with the girls selling the bathwater?
Yeah.
Holy hell, that was insane, wasn't it?
But I also posted another one. There was a little extra.
I've already lined up loads of bottles. I've got tons on the side here ready to go. I don't know what anyone's. I've got toilet water good to go. I don't know if anyone wants that. Free.
Think of the combinations we got though. We can have Miss and Bark. We can have Miss and Madness. We can have all 3. Ooh. We can do like blends and cocktails.
Frothy top. How much frothy head do you get between how much which one gives the best head? The Miz and the Madness, or the Puck, or the Madness, or the Triple. Oh my god, we're banned already. We're banned already.
This is what the after hours one was meant to be like. We just started that early.
Yeah,
it's a good job we're not affiliate on this channel, so it's all good. They can't ban us. Can they? Can they ban non-affiliates?
Yes, of course they can ban you, but it's just like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So yeah. It don't matter. We can move on to others. We can move on to other mediums.
FWWG or something like that.
Just go through all the letters and numbers. We'll get banned on every medium as quickly as the record. Hey, okay, this is actually, we are literally doing the after hours early, but I was going to say, did you see there was a video talking about how being banned actually on Twitch is actually beneficial to your stream, especially if you're a big time streamer. Being banned is actually beneficial. You actually come out of it better than before.
It's like if you're a big streamer,
we should ask the Dark Law.
I don't think that counts for us.
I don't know about.
If you get a permaban, I don't think that works either. You can't actually return. It's like, it's done wonders for my career. I can't.
Well, Dr. Disrespect is one of those, of course, and doesn't matter what he does. I think we'll always get back.
Well, at the end of the day, he's one of the biggest streamers on there. It makes him a fortune. Even if he murders someone on stream, they'll probably find a way to get around it.
Well, there are limits, but
there are limits what you can do. But I think he's kind of there comes a point. There's certain so many.
So if someone wants to be murdered by him on stream, just to find out,
it was self-defense. It'll be live streaming the court streams, the screen.
Yes, exactly. Be back on because it'll be live
behind the scenes, the court, the behind, the before the court, after court, in prison,
the court toilets,
playing live streaming from the prison. Dr. Disrespect. Oh my god!
Dropping the show.
You're not supposed to talk about other streamers, are you? I think it's that's another bannable offense. Yeah,
really.
Totally bannable. Totally bannable. No, we're just joshing. Well, by the way, Twitch, if you're watching, it's all in joke and jest and fun. Well, that's what we're all about. It's all British humor. Welcome to British humor.
The best.
Anyway, so Star Citizen. That's what we're here to talk about. This is what is meant to be this section of this. We're preempting after hours before we even. So that was like
before after hours. So that's a preview of the show.
That's it. That's the preview of after hours. Yeah. Welcome to what that will be after this show. So we'll be doing that. And you if you're watching YouTube now, this is going to be trimmed. So bye. You won't get to see
this. Zach will be getting rid of this bit, so it's all good.
This bit's gone. And we start now talking about Star Citizen. So
welcome everybody to the Asylum. Star Citizen.
Welcome to the Asylum podcast, Star Citizen section of our show. As Miz will said, we'll be doing an after-hours show later,
which will be put up on YouTube at some point.
So 3.6 has been released to PTU Wave 1.
Right.
We can now talk about it.
Last week's show.
Oh God!
Literally after last week's show,
Yes,
it's like boom.
it was. They thank. First thing is thank you CIG for doing that. Literally when we finished, because everyone was talking about it in chat and we were like winding us up, and we were like, they were like, hey, it's gone live, we were like, no, it's not live, and then as soon as we ended, it was like, shit, it is actually live now. So we were all like downloading.
It was a nice gesture of the devs.
Absolutely.
It was just
literally
all
what they
watching
did
our
hold off for
podcast.
us. Yeah.
Silent fans. They're quiet fans, really. We're obviously, I reckon we are actually like silent fans. I bet you in their desk drawers, they've got little pictures of all of us, that little team. When they open the drawer, it's like,
Exactly.
madness, Mobok, just like that. Just the kind of like, and they got us all on speed dial in terms of like when the show starts. I bet you they're all now, but big screen in the office, I reckon, closed doors watching us right now. So
all little flasks of our bathing water on the desk.
For you guys, we know you love us. We love you too. And I'm coming very soon to the show.
Not obviously the other one, but I'm coming to the show soon, BritzenCon and CitizenCon. So I'll see you there, and we'll get some autographs and we can get everything sorted. It's all good.
So 3.6, have you been playing it? What are your thoughts on it?
Wow. Okay, I'll let Bot go first.
Yeah, I've had lots and lots of fun until the last patch, that they rolled back.
Patch.
The weekend patch. I love the new hacking mechanic for the arrays, the comm arrays that you can do now. I had some very good aiming, never been good as before. So no more pips all over the place. I do, however, have a lot of wobbling and bobbling of the ship. It's a bit of a showstopper. But overall, good impression, and it's not even complete yet. So until now, very satisfied for 3.6. Yeah.
So well, I'll let Madness tell us.
Or miserable.
No, you go, miss. It's fine.
No, I haven't got much because I haven't tried it much because I've been freaking busy as always. But I was just going to say, like, they obviously did one patch that kind of messed it all up, which is it's kind of good to see that they were able to kind of roll it back. So that patch aside, I'm guessing everybody's talking about, because that one was just a car crash. So.
I think they were trying to fix a few things to do with like the interdiction and stuff, and I think they just interdicted the entire game.
The server, you're mine now.
They literally interdicted the whole game, I think, and they're like,
nope, you're not working. It's not working. So for me, 3.6, dude, like seriously, I mean, if anyone's been in my stream recently, I think you'll probably notice a much more positive, upbeat madness. Really, I'm genuinely enjoying the progression. I think for me, like I've said this before, and I keep saying it, persistence of loadouts.
Yeah,
it's fantastic for me. A lot of the little subtle changes to the quality of life of the game have made a big difference. I mean, I had a positive feeling before even 3.6 was released. I got into 3.5.1 and I thought, you know what? I got a feeling this is going to go in a good way. I did. I just had a feeling. I think I had a feeling, and I had a dream. I have a dream that Star Citizen and my computer will get on, will work. 3.6 and my computer are going to get on. They're going to make little baby games, and it's going to be awesome. No, they've just honestly 3.6. It's not great. Yeah, okay. Look, I can list out the things. PvP is still not there. The VTOL thrusters. It's a tier 0 implementation. It's a tier 1 implementation. You can still land, but it's fun. And obviously interdiction is a mother of all things I wish they would get rid of permanently until they properly fix it and get a lot of other things in. But there's so many other cool things that are little things that have come in. The like today I got shown by Kingsley. He showed me the component parts and how all the component setups are going in the new reworked Vanguard Warden and the hoplite and all the other the variants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
goodness me, is that cool and exciting to think, now inside your ship, doors open, ship becomes available, things open, lockers open, actually inside the ship, it's an environment where you're actually interacting with things and they're interacting with you. Yes, sure, we're still not hanging up my clothes yet, but that's only a matter of time. And the component parts, again, the same thing, and they're gearing up. This is clearly Squadron 42 stuff gearing in, and it's that was really exciting today. Mining didn't work for me today, but we'll try again later. The game is still gorgeous as always. It just gets more gorgeous every time I play it. Like I've got a lot of other things I can do now to entertain myself. Whilst this PTU page has got lots of money in my pocket, I can go crazy. I can buy this gun, buy that gun, test this out, try this. I can buy ships now in game. All of the ships, pretty much. I mean, obviously not all the ships, but almost all the ships you can buy in game. We're going to get renting in fairly soon. We've got these massive, beautiful space stations, which are just completely cool. And again, huge potential with them to do things. Honestly, I feel like you've really got to be in a negative space and just be a bit of a hater right now, and I think this patch kind of really shows the people who I think are a bit too much on the hating side and less, and you know what I mean? Like even some of the people who are salty, I think who are more balanced salty, it can see the positives, you know what I mean? Whereas I think if you're just hating on it right now too hard, I think you're not seeing a lot of the extra parts of the game. You're not seeing where they're laying down for the next couple of patches, the future of the game. If you're not seeing that, then I have a worry for you. You know what I mean? I'm worried for you because I think maybe you need a break, or I don't know. If you're really hating on it hard.
And on top of that, this is PTU patch. I think someone says it's just gone to wave 2. So I mean, it's still in early testing, and so like people moaning about some of the bugs and stuff. I know there was some that were saying, "Oh, it shouldn't have been released," and that, but it's like it's not released. That's why it's on the PTU on a test server, and I think apart from that one last patch, it's been pretty stable for most people. So it's a really good progression, a good way forward. I think so. I think did I play any of it? I think I played a little bit with. Was it with you, Madness? I think I tried a bit. We managed to do a bit of stuff. It stayed in for a little while. But it's definitely
we played the first patch.
It's definitely it's like I said, a step in the right direction, and I think you've got to see that some of these things are slowly coming together and improving the game. And these are things we've been asking for, a little, more of this fleshing out, more game mechanics and things like that to make it a more cycled game that we can play, rather than something that you're going to lose all your stuff and lose all the changes that you make, which means every time you log back in, you're doing that whole reset, and it's annoying. So I think once you get past that, I mean, a big step will be when the money's more persistent between patches. I know we're a little way off of that, but that's kind of like the next big step to making this more, I say, a game which is, it's kind of not what their aim is at the moment. It's just testing it and putting things together. Not really, it's not meant to be made into a game, or this is ready for us to play now type of thing. At this stage, obviously, when it comes out, we want it to be playable as a game. But it's funny because although we're in testing phases, we want it to be a playable game, and I think that's what most of us, or most of the people that keep sticking at Star Citizen want. Because there's lots of people that have obviously got accounts that have left it and they said they're not touching it, and I think that's what they're kind of waiting for. You get some that will not touch it probably until release. And then you've got a big chunk that want to wait until it's considered more of a game to play that would actually you can progress and make advancements in. So I think we're getting closer to that for sure.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm really positive, really positive. I think most people should try and be positive and look at it right now. I mean, I know it's the bit of the pot calling the kettle black from somebody that's hated on certain things so much, but I've always felt justified in the things that I disliked, and some of the behaviors and some of the broken parts of the game have been very frustrating for me.
All these little things right now, these little changes, they're all adding up to this one bigger positive feeling about playing the game. And especially when you're an early backer and playing this game for a couple of years now, you know where we were coming from, and now actually seeing it's starting to get shape as a real gameplay game. Yeah, I agree. If you don't see it, then yeah, when will you see it?
Yeah, that's my worry for some people. You know, I think it's like if you're not seeing it, then maybe you do need to just take a little breather. I did it. I took a little breather from 3.5.
Yeah,
I came back for 3.5.1 when there's a few things that, I mean, granted, I think I came back good with that persistence loadout, which made the difference for me. But there may be something for those people who are struggling right now with it. There may be that there'll be something that will come back in a couple patches for them. That'll be their little piece that just goes, oh, I love it again. I love it again. Like it could be the PvP, the ESP. Could be as simple as ESP, could be simple as OCS server side. As soon as the performance is in and people can get their hits back on target for their PvP side of things, whoa, you know, the game could be amazing.
Gonna open up all of it. Yeah, basically this year is more like the underlying systems to get that working. And next year it's probably more content when server OBS is really performing well.
I hope so. Do you know what?
It does sound like the server side thing is holding a lot of stuff back. I mean, like you said, it could be a convenient excuse, but it does sound like that's what's holding it back. And I think what's slightly disappointing, not to take it down that road, but in terms of, I think we all expected this year to be more of the content-driven year. And it's turned a little bit more into the tech side of it. But like you said, on the positive side, things are going the right way. The tech is working. We're getting mechanics that still work. And they are at least slowly starting to integrate some of these new game mechanics. We're still a way off. We're still a hell of a lot more to go in. But it's looking a little bit more positive in you know, on that side of things at least. We just hope that more is coming.
Yeah, there's reason to play in between the patches for a good amount of time now. You know what I mean? Because it's like I can earn some ships. You know what I mean? That's for me is the big thing. It's like there is generally a progression path now to earning ships. There is in my opinion, finally a looped finish, as it were. I do think that some of the prices are a little bit way off. I don't understand why on earth the Titan Avenger is 1.5 million. I don't get that at all. When an M50 is 700,000, I'm like, can we not like make the Avenger 900,000 and like a starter ship's 275k, I think it was, and the M50 is 7. I was like, maybe the Titan should be 800k then, or 600k.
This was one of the things they hit upon. I think it was last week. In terms of the way they first constructed the costs of everything, is by breaking it down to its component parts. So that Avenger Titan probably has a lot more in terms of what they value the parts at. Now, that's not going to be the end price. They said that. They said that they've had to have a starting point, and that's their starting point. It's like, right, the shield's worth this much, the wheels are worth this much, blah, blah, blah. Then what they said they'll do is they will give it a pass and say, right, okay, well, Avenger Titans, they're meant to be more common. Okay, let's make that cheaper. Whereas another ship might be rarer. Okay, let's bump the price up just for... like they called it, I think even last week, that's what they said, like the Apple tax we'll talk about, you know, like Apple products are more expensive. It doesn't make them any better, but they're more expensive. And so he said there'll be some ships that'll be like the Apple tax and say, well, because this is an expensive brand, or it's a rarer ship. So I think for now, it's like the first iteration is literally just component wise. And all I can think is that the Avenger Titan's got better components and potentially more components than, say, the M50 or something.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. But then I kind of go, so you're saying that an Avenger, I mean, on paper and visually, you know, it's the same price as a Cutlass. Do you know what I mean? A black Cutlass black, you know, in terms of components, the components value of a Titan are on the same components as a Cutlass black. That doesn't necessarily mean that's wrong. It's just, I'm like, wow, okay, the Cutlass is a bargain. You know, it's like, really.
Well, the Cutlass doesn't
great
the Cutlass come with like pretty basic weapons and shielding and stuff? I'm not much in the layouts and stuff, so
I think it had pretty good, fairly good layout. I mean, it's fairly good, but yes, it's kind of a stripped back kind of. I always looked at the Cutlass as like if you had like a military vehicle and then it had been given to the civilians, and you know you could buy it with kind of very basic kind of stripped off everything, and I kind of always imagined the Cutlass is kind of like, or do it yourself kind of Black Hawk Down or something, you know, it's that kind of thing. But still, I'm just surprised. That's all. I mean, maybe, you know, I'm just surprised that in my head, like if you had 1.5 million, like would you buy an Avenger or would you buy a Cutlass?
Well, it depends on the role you want, probably. Because I think the Avenger would definitely be more fighty than the Cutlass, like the maneuverability and stuff. I mean, it's supposed to be. I don't, if it flew properly.
Depends if you get unless you get the advocacy version, but the advocacy version would probably have better components and would probably be even worth more. So I wouldn't be surprised if the advocacy version would be more close to 2 million.
I haven't looked at. I don't know. We know the ship matrix is wrong anyway, but I haven't looked at components for each of these anyway, so I don't know what in terms of if you stripped it down to just components, which one is which has better components, whether they are similar or whether it's just off whack for some reason. It could be just a bug. It could be just it could be a number of reasons. I mean, if anyone in chat is an expert on components and knows what they all start with, then you can let us know. But otherwise,
off the top of my head, I can't tell you what the Cutlass works off of. But in terms of sizes, the Cutlass will be more bigger sizes. It already has, I think, size 2 power plants and stuff compared to the Avengers, which would be size 1s, I believe, or because it's a bigger ship. So we're saying size 2 components are because maybe the Avengers got better quality size 1s versus the Cutlass is poorer size 2s.
Better grade. Yeah,
exactly, better quality. But then it's all that kind of understanding. It could also just be one massive mistake. They could have put the wrong number, and you never know. Who knows? But like I said, if you're thinking about what you're going to buy, like if I had 1.5 million only to spend and in one patch, I'm not dropping it on an Avenger. I'm dropping it on a Cutlass.
What's up? Oh my God, Zach, that's hilarious, man.
Why?
I'm sorry.
All I can say is, but
why?
We're in the middle of a discussion and that comes out. It's like, what the fuck?
This is what we need. Save this stuff. You got to save this for the after hours because it's too good, baby.
Okay.
I know we're not doing it live.
I've just put this on there so people know what we're laughing at. Yeah.
Visual exception.
That hair.
The hair's pretty accurate at the moment until I get a freaking haircut.
That's dope, dude. That's dope.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Where were we? Love Zach. Love throwing this curveball.
Yeah, thanks, Zach.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Now,
So that for me is like in terms of the prices. I think there's some of the prices ships aren't there, but again, you still got that game loop. You've still got that progression, especially if they put renting in as well, which they've said they're going to bring in, and you'll be able to I'm really curious to see what they do because I got the feeling they'll go for the same type of thing that they did with the rec system for renting spaceships, which was like a 5-day token.
Yeah,
where you rent it and you get a 5-day token. And I hope they don't follow the same 5-day token philosophy of if you use it for 1 minute, you've used it for the whole day.
Oh right, yeah.
Because that sucks balls. Because say, for example, you in your real life, you have to go do something or you try and log in, you want to play for a little bit, but then your missus wants you or something happens and you can't play. That day token is then gone.
Right. That's my person. That was one of my biggest grumbles was like, because then you have to farm twice as hard the next day to maybe make up the loss that you lost last time. And you might not be able to do that. It's very, very punishing for players if you don't allow it to be based on how much time they're flying in the ship rather than how many times, the minute they just log into this game or if they log into the ship one time. If they log into the game and it immediately counts as a token, that would be horrendous. Okay, that'd be my first thing. If you fly the ship, then at least, and
I wonder if they'll do it by hours or by days. I suppose that's kind
I don't think they will. I think they'll go with the token system. I really do. I think they'll go with what they've tried and done probably before. I really do. I'm happy to be wrong.
I thought the rec one originally started off when I used it in Early Commander. It was only when you started using it, or as soon as you use it. I mean, no, but not even I didn't think it was a day. It was a day, wasn't it? Yeah. So as soon as you used it, the one day.
Yeah, it's gone. 1 minute or 24 hours. It doesn't matter. It was gone. And that was a day token gone, and it was I lost too many days when I just jumped in and wanted to play for a bit, and then it was like, oh crap, and then I'm like, I've only got like an hour or 20 minutes, and it's like it's not enough to generate the return. It might be okay in the game. I mean, maybe the game will be better and you'll be able to make better returns quicker, but I just hope I don't know, we'll see, but it's just a worry. That's all it's just a concern. We'll see what they do. Hopefully they'll mark it as well, which is a rentable ship, because at the moment we still don't even tell. There's still not a symbol to tell me what the component parts on my spaceship do in any way. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to see a marker to tell me what ship is rented as well versus what ship is actually. These simple things, right? But CIG has a habit of forgetting to put these simple things in.
Yeah, and there's also the term as well of like, once they start adding the rented ships, if that gets stolen and people try and do stuff with the stolen ships, it's like, well, a stolen owned one versus a stolen rented one and things like that. It's gonna get interesting, because there's lots of little things, isn't there, that you got to think about.
A stolen rented ship. So do you get a little tracker so you can find out who's looking after your rented ship, so you can go and find it and try and steal it back or something, or some sort of tracking? Or if they fly it, does that count as a day token? Could you imagine, like, if you only got 5 day tokens,
someone else's token,
and you're using up everyone else's token, you'd be like, no, I swear I only used 1 day. You know, it's like,
so when you jump through lights, isn't it, or get a bounty because it wasn't me, my friend borrowed it. I rented the ship, but my friend was borrowing it. I didn't drive it. I need photographic proof, otherwise I'll take my bounty off.
Get screenshots and start sending them to CIG. Like, I wasn't playing. See, I was flying in my Avenger, not my Cutlass. And look at the timestamp in the corner. Somebody else was flying my rented spaceship, using it for me. Yeah. I like that. That's actually quite funny. That would be really funny if that was actually possible. That would be really good. So other great things. So we may as well discuss the hottest topic on the blog, which is the VTOLs. And because this is Star Citizen Live, because this was on Star Citizen Live, and this is one of the things. So I will comment. I've said this on my stream, and I'll comment this again. David Coulson, by the way, looks shattered. But he looked broken on that Star Citizen Live as a man. I worry for his state. Yeah, if you look at his body language, he just looked really, for me anyway. It's just
because he's had to babysit Jared for a week.
Like, why is the sun out at 9 p.m.? It's like, I don't know. He was off to Paris for a bit as well, so he had some relaxed time. But it takes his toll, of course. But I couldn't actually tell if he was really down or not.
Possible.
Have to rewatch it.
He could be just tired at day. He could be,
What the hell? Oh, it's a dinosaur!
Now confirmed to be added in the game.
My next pet's coming in.
Wow.
That my son managed to roll over on that at 2:00 in the morning, and all I heard was,
and then suddenly the pitter patter of my son coming into my room as he scared the crap out of himself.
Wow,
he scared them to death. But sorry, but so he looked shattered. I don't know what you guys thought about his body language, but he just looked broken, and the chat was going at him like no one's business as well. If you were reading chat, or if you saw chat live, he was getting. There was a lot of very unhappy people that their landing has become really difficult all of a sudden.
People really piss me off. It's like literally the first integration of it. It's like it hasn't even been slightly tweaked. It's like we're trying to put a system in. How dare you implement this shit? I can't have my ship. How can you? Yeah, welcome to fucking testing. This is why. This is exactly why they don't release it straight to live, or they want Evocati patches. You guys are making them make Evocati patches even more, because if that's the response they get, it's like we're not giving it to the public, because this is obviously they can't handle the truth that it's still a work in progress, and it's not like this is like everyone seems to take the patch as if like, oh, there you go, it's done. His job's done.
Finished.
That's it.
Finished.
Go and enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy not being able to land your ship. It's like, dear God,
it's like they, I think the frustration is people kind of go, well, what is Evocati doing, right? Because they're like, how can we get this in this state, and Evocati could be so happy? How dare Evocati assume that we're going to be? It's just terrible. It's terrible. How dare that's that whole kind of. And then it goes
how to land this ship.
And then I'm still waiting for you to play so I can watch it live on the stream.
You're waiting for that. my god!
Don't. You're waiting for that flight mod of their VTOLs to be fixed. That's what I know you're waiting
No,
for.
I've gone from crashing my ship to being the perfect pilot now with these new. It's like, oh, what, it flies all over the place. No problem. That's how I've been practicing that all this time.
It's all lies. It's all lies. No, yes, I just can't wait. We're gonna get the clips. Get everyone there with their clip button ready to
Screw
go.
you guys. I'm not going to play it until it's fixed.
No, yeah, it's it. Okay, what do you think, Vito? What do you?
I love it on the surface. Really, I do. I did a lot of testing and moving around without crashing, by the way. So that's all good. The only thing for me, and it basically depends, it's addressed to only joystick users, I think. The second you hover above a landing pad with gravity, it will just push you forward and you will hit something. The only thing you could try to do is get your speed limiter almost basically to 0 and try it again. But the rest of that VTOL system, it's I love it. I love the feeling how you can actually just pitch and yaw a bit, or only yaw and roll, and get actually that feeling of gravity, because when you go into a roll, you will dive down a bit. You can countermeasure that with your strafe up a bit, and it's a whole new level of flying, basically. Well, not really flying, but hovering.
I see. Like, here's the interesting thing. Like, I would be fascinated. I'd like to, if I could, and I wish sometimes I could play both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'd love to be able to fly the old way,
Yeah.
compare it to the new way now.
Yeah,
that I've flown
yeah.
the new one, to see how much of a difference the feeling is. Because I close my eyes and kind of imagine when I'm going into jump town, and I would go in and I fly down low, and then I kind of like I could get the landing gear down, and then I hit the control button, and it just goes like they did on the, you know, you just come straight down, and then and I land, and I'm done, and I take off, and I kind of go left and right, forward and backwards. I'm in all directions I can go in, and I kind of, you know, and I'm gone. It was,
yeah, but the old way,
okay.
Yeah, but the old way is obvious. It's like, I mean, for this one, there was nothing there. It was, you were just a dot in, you know, nothing was affecting you. So you could come up, spin around, and you could stay on exactly the same spot and pirouette.
Just
it wouldn't make a
hover.
difference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can land.
That's
that
interesting. Ichiru says it happens with keyboard and mouse too, but I know that my buddy Starburger in chat, he doesn't have the issue.
Well, he use the right alt button and bring his throttle down.
He uses auto land.
Let's ask him.
He uses auto land. He just
uses auto land.
And it just goes.
I said on stream, the day that I'm going to use auto land, I'm going to quit Star Citizen. That's just the only thing I need is no boosting forward, and give me the damn artificial landing in my MFV. That's it.
2.6.3, the only way to land was auto land, because if you didn't do that, you would get stuck on the pads.
True. Yeah.
So if you landed manually, you'd get stuck.
In 2.6.
Usually I never landed. I only exploded.
You did when you were Public Enemy, and you had no ammo because you were running mass drivers, and that shit ran out all the time. So you had to keep going reload and run out of fuel. Yeah, and you had the beautiful drones would come out, and then they'd hit your ship, and then your ship would start to go, like try to take off. Come on, let's go again. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
But yeah, I mean, the first time I saw Madness landing with this new system was hilarious.
Hey,
inside
the
Arc
pictures.
Corp, trying to get inside the hangar. He was just like, he hit every single wall that was inside the hangar. It was like, how the fucking ship didn't blow up, I don't know, but it was worse than one of my landings. He hit every wall, then he landed it upside down, and I don't know how you actually managed to flip it back over. He just
with great skill and talent. It was basically when you land at Ark,
Minus
you
the
have
skill
to
and
hit a
talent.
couple walls. You got to hit a couple
No, you
walls
don't have
first just to warm it up, and then you basically bring it to the side of the wall. Make sure you're basically flat against the wall. Then power down, and then the ship will then beautifully fall right smack down in the middle of the landing pad for a perfect landing. I'm available for lessons if people want the lessons in how to land madness style.
You're right. I've been landed that way for a long time. I don't need lessons.
No, legit. Like, again, jokes aside, like it's really sensitive on the joystick, and you do like Box says, the ramp speed is the curve, or you would say is a bit too high, and that's why they've given us the ability to bring, with pressing the right alt, supposedly you can adjust the throttle, and you can bring the throttle down to 50% or whatever, but. The problem with doing that is they said this on, I think, the show the other day. They said that if you bring it down below what the thrusters are capable of keeping your ship in the air, your ship will fall, will crash.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of know what your thruster is. I don't even know. And I don't know if it even, again, I don't even know if it tells you by either a color indicator, like it goes from green, blue to red, like to say, red, now you're underneath it and you're about to go and crash. Oh,
Too late. Bye-bye.
They don't, again, it's that, oh, didn't think about that. It's that thing just in. But anyway, that's in another kind of and again, it's another fiddly little thing to do. And I can see why some people are kind of get a bit frustrated with it. The people who like aim assist, auto landing, auto mining, auto gameplay, the people who want everything to be automatic and easy. I can see them kind of grumbling, but welcome to my world. I'm honestly, I'm kind of happy because it's like, I've had to deal with auto aim and freaking broken flight model for over a year, and now you get one tiny aspect of your flight model ruined for everybody, and everyone's crying and upset, and I'm just like, come on, get over it, guys, seriously. You haven't had to have a whole year without combat working well, so don't grumble about landing, and you can still land, it's just harder. It takes
a bit more time.
Yeah. And they'll get better. They'll tweak it and they'll make it easier. You can still auto land if you really want to. So it's like, I don't know. I see people hating on it. It's not brilliant.
By the way, is that auto land? Is it high enough, or does it respond? Yeah, does it respond from a higher distance, or not that you're going too low on the landing pad and then you will boost forward? You know what I mean?
I don't know, actually. That's the one thing that I'm still figuring out in Truth Book is the heights of everything, because I know when you come out of atmosphere, like understanding when VTOLs switch off.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of want to be able to switch off VTOLs, earlier so you can go.
They want to decide it themselves.
Yeah. And I get it, but then I'm also at the same time, I'm like, well, VTOLs effectively are keeping you in the air, right? So if you switch them, if you have the manual to change them to the back thruster, you'll have to make sure you're at a vertical angle, really, or a kind of at that angle to kind of go. Because if you're at this,
it shouldn't be a shut off, but more a rotation, a manual rotation you should do with your engines. Otherwise, you would drop down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. You see the ship start to fall down, and you'd have to then, which wouldn't maybe be a bad thing, but if you did it too soon, you'd crash into. You see a lot of ships crashing into the ground.
Right.
That's just my understanding of. That's the bit that I've been finding very frustrating is when I try and take off and try and get out of systems. Like now, it's like there's the speed limitation, the VTOL limitation, the juttering, and then obviously if you adjust your ship at the wrong angle, your VTOLs won't work very well because you're at too much of a vertical angle or too much of an angle. So because it likes to be flat. So if you turn to go up into thingy, you're doing everything that VTOL doesn't want to do, right?
And you get the slow speeds out of atmosphere. It takes you half an hour.
Yeah,
lots of stress and anger.
Exactly. And so I
been there.
I get when people get frustrated about that. I get their frustrations, but I go, like, we all know it, we all see it. I am assure you, CIG guys can see it. We'll be working to try and find ways to make it better.
Absolutely.
They just obviously like this more granular flight model. They want the flight model to be more granular and more realistic and more simulation based, and they want the landing to be the same. So used to it.
Yeah.
And I don't. But
Adapt.
then this is where it comes back to me, which is this is where I get frustrated with it, because it's kind of like they do all this to make things harder, and then they give us still fucking aim assist, which is like 90% hits, and it's really easy, and that's where I kind of go, the hypocrisy within parts of the game is horrific.
Yeah.
We're making this really hard and we're making this really easy. It's
I
like,
don't know if,
well,
but I don't necessarily think the Vitals were added to make it hard. I think it is at the moment because they're not probably working quite how they want them to be. I don't think they were necessarily added to make it hard. They just wanted to get a better feeling. Because like you said, really, when you were coming out before and you were just doing all sorts of shit on the spot, it just didn't feel right. And they knew it didn't feel right. So they had to add something in there.
Exactly.
And I think it's just turned out that they've added this and it's gone, oh shit, we can't fucking land. And I suppose in a big open space it's nowhere near as bad, but it wouldn't surprise me if most like sort of land in third person as well, which is not what obviously a lot of people want to do. They want to be able to carry on first person and land. So I mean, I think we'll get there. I think they said that they were going to add like the hologram and everything else. So this isn't by far the finished sort of way of doing it. But yeah, I don't know if they're trying to make it harder. But like you said, especially when they're making other things a lot easier, or whether it just ended up being that way.
Well, another positive thing at least is that David Coulson, and that's what I hear from different directions, he's really into everybody's Discord, Reddit, whatever, and listening to the people and trying to get it all in his head and try to get a nice working mechanic, so that some people will always hate it, but I think his goal is to please as much people as possible.
And
that's not always possible.
His goal is to please Chris Roberts. The rest is just it's tough.
But I'd say the same. Yeah, it's kind of like you got to keep that man happy first.
And, you try. I think that's probably why he's so tired, because he's in everybody's discords. He needs to get out of Discord.
He's working his ass off, probably. Yeah.
I think the main thing is, has any of you tried landing the ships with one of these yet? Because that's if you try it with one of these, I bet you could land perfectly.
What's that?
An Xbox controller.
It's a fucking transparent Xbox controller. How dare you?
What's wrong with that?
At least it's orange.
I thought that was something for the bedroom. Let's be honest. I saw that.
Hey, this is for the bedroom. What you it's got knobs and everything on it. But anyway, what I'm saying is,
loop it up, boy.
It vibrates as well.
It might do.
Oh, dear
anyway,
Lord.
If you try landing with one of those, I bet you it'll be perfect every time, because we all know that that's what Chris Roberts uses to land and fly in the game. So it's probably being tailored to work with one of those.
Again, and I think that again comes back to my theory, and could say it again. Squadron 42, Scarlet, and PlayStation 5.
Xbox.
Yep.
Baby.
Legit. Legit, boys and girls. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets on. Maybe not now, but maybe, if Squadron, maybe a year after Squadron 42 is out on PC, I wouldn't be surprised if they port it. I really wouldn't, especially if it's good. I really think they'll be able to run it. I really do. And yeah, so who knows if it works? If you can fly with a joystick, whatever the thing is, what's that called again? The orange dildo thing. What's that called again? The Xbox controller.
That's what it's called. Xbox controller.
Yeah, Xbox controller. That's the one.
Why you're slagging it off just because it's see-through? What's wrong with that?
Okay, but is it even possible to control it all with your Xbox controller?
Yeah.
I've never flown with an Xbox controller in Star Citizen.
Yes, you can. Diablos does it. He flies with the controller, and also a guy called Sim Keither or Radioactive. He's actually a really good combat pilot, and he flies with a controller, which I couldn't believe when he told me. I was like, no way! Like I was fighting him, and we were fighting, and he was very, very competent dogfighting pilot with a controller. And so I was like, yep, it's
respect.
I know, right? I was like, I tried, and I had no idea. But yeah, so you could. I think the reality is you probably have to get like a plug-in keyboard, probably. I think personally to probably make the most of all the controls. But then maybe if these things are getting so advanced, you might be able to get a game glass and maybe you plug that into your Xbox, whatever it is, and be able to play. Who knows? Seriously, like with the new consoles, is something maybe we'll talk about in After Hours. Which is the other part of the Asylum show these days. We'll talk about that and talk about the other consoles and stuff.
So we will be having a discussion on the consoles and Star Citizen and things like that on our other show. So yeah.
So definitely check that out. What else? I mean, what else did they discuss? I think they have the ship concept, gentlemen.
A couple of questions so that we could maybe go over those, and then we can go jump back. So yeah, guys, if anyone wants to ask any questions, question mark in chat, you can fill out the form and do that. If you want to just chuck a question at us in chat, you can welcome to do that as well. It's just that there's more chance of us missing it if it goes through chat, which is passing us by. But so if you really want a question answered, then just fill out the form for us, and that's great. So anyway, the first question we've got is, why can't I see? Oh, there we go. It's from Fenrir, and he asks, in the newly added rest stop variations are considered small variants. How large should we expect actual space stations to be?
Oh, wow. I'm hoping like... That's a good question. Well, I love the world of a thousand planet of 1,000 worlds or whatever it is. The what's the movie called? It's a French comic. It slipped my mind, but I love the fact that that's built from stations that they're all kind of like formed together to create one monstrous kind of super city kind of station. So I would love for there to be a world-sized space station, which is basically made of thousands of or a moon-sized space station, like a Death Star, but something but not Death Star design, but that's actually made of lots of other stations that have all kind of been cobbled together to create but again, in my head, sorry, I get excited with this because I start to go like Geth, like from Mass Effect, and Chris Roberts hates robots, so I'm never going to get it in this game.
I don't know why he hates robots. That's one of the things about this game. It's like, oh, come on.
It would be so good to be in this game. It would break away from the Wing Commander stuff as well, because I'm not being funny. Everyone talks about Wing Commander, and I'm like, this would break it into new territory for me. Like, we don't know what these new aliens. People have speculated if he brings out lions, cat people in the next alien race that we haven't met. I'm going to be disappointed. I'll be like, where's the creativity? Come on. Where's the originality of characters? I don't need to see more cat people. I want to see freaking cool AI robotic people that are amazing and like kind of
robotic
cool
karate.
Super cool robots. Sorry, anyway, that's just me. I'll stop.
Yeah, but to get back to the question, I think we can see a fairly large bit of huge stations, especially for all the trading stations and for example salvaging station. If you're really in a great system which has lots and lots of resources, and everybody is going there with these large freighter ships and other salvaging ships, they have to go somewhere, and it would be really nice to have this humongous space station on top in space where everybody docks and does his own thing and walk around and just do your thing there. These gonna be huge, I hope.
Well, you think, imagine some of the size of the ships that we're getting, and like then I know not everything's supposed to land, but you're going to be docking these things at these stations, and then you imagine like the whole E and stuff, the amount of cargo it can take. Now, if you're we're not necessarily going to get everything completely physicalized, but if you imagine these are delivering their full payload into these stations, and there's going to be multiple whole E's and everything else all going about their business, you're going to see some freaking massive stations. I think they're going to have
with
to
all
be
the crew.
Yeah. And like even just the passenger ships, the manufacturing ones, that's got to pump out enough stuff for them to take the cargo. Yeah, I can like half the size of the planet, even sort of things like them going around. Imagine stuff like that, or maybe a moon, not a planet. But...
I mean, at the moment we've got one type of style of we mentioned that last week. We've got one style of station. We've got one particular style. I'm looking forward to when we actually get a bit more variety of styles. And one of my favorites ones is when we do like, the way I look at it is this way: is maybe we'll get stations which have the Endeavor's pods attached to them. So they have the plant pods
with the glass, the spheres.
Yeah. And in theory, they'll be able to be detached and attached to Endeavors in space. So we could be potentially these modular pods on some of these stations, like the green things that will be the design from the Endeavor, and they'll be able to be detached and then reattached to the Endeavor, or spaceships of a similar sort of size. So you can take them and change them, and it would be kind of. I can't wait to see that kind of space stations. You know what I mean? All that and how big those biomes could be, and just I want to see just like more creative stations. I mean, again, it's like where we see the humans spaceships and then we see the alien spaceships. The alien spaceships really appeal to me. They're really interesting because designers can go a little bit more creative and crazy, whereas the humans ones, they always tend to follow more of a
they do follow a sort of
predictable pattern.
Yeah, I think I've said a long time that the alien ships are kind of what I'm more interested in. So definitely seeing more alien sort of buildings and stations are going to be really interesting to see, because then you've got to incorporate, I suppose, some of these ship designs into the stations as well. And it'd be kind of cool to see, a bit like you was just talking about with all these stations joined together, seeing a kind of multi-race one or something, like a station work together, and maybe perhaps even like part of the station's human. You can see then another part of it might be alien tech, where they've kind of linked the stations together or worked together to create a station. That would be amazing to see. And you could probably go down one end by certain alien tech, and down the other end to get your human stuff. It'd be
slime along the walls and dripping down on your head.
So you have to get a wash between compartments of the station. You're not going in like that.
And different. No, yeah. I mean, that's what we want, right? That's the end goal. I'm sure that's years and years and years and years away. But in terms of, but then again, a part of me kind of looks at it and goes, well, when it comes to the environments, the guys are pretty hot. That team is hot when it comes to creating stuff. So maybe it's not that far. Maybe they'll flesh out these kind of algorithms for creating the human-made stations, and they'll be already building a couple, maybe some more alien ones. I'd love to see what the Jeans their ones would be. I don't know if the Banu would have stations. Would you? I don't think so, because everything they move as like a selling thing. Tavarans would probably have stations.
Yeah.
And then the Vanduul, I don't think they'll have space stations, but I would imagine they would maybe harvest a space station, maybe like the Reapers, kind of like maybe they'd take over and make it their own, stick loads of guns on it. You know what I mean? They'd probably take over like a station, put massive, great big guns and make it like super destroying. Yeah.
I think who was it who said last week, would it be nice to have a space station with a quantum travel drive on it?
Oh yeah, who was it? Kept asking each time, why can't you quantum travel stations?
Yeah, well, it could, but you need a huge quantum travel drive.
Well, and you need a huge shield. So that's one of the things that they were talking about on Inside Thingy, where they talk about ship bombardments and stuff, which kind of was like, why? But then I was like, we kind of do that a little bit, I suppose, when you fly down to an atmosphere. But then obviously people want, a big javelin to be able to fire, rounds and missiles. And people made some good suggestions about laser tracking, like on the ground to mark an area, and then the guns can fire. And then shield generators on the planet and stuff, which is again just straight out of movie. I mean, we all know straight away it's Empire Strikes Back. It's full on land, Titan suits trying to take down shields, and then you've got that FPS gun battle. You got the low flying spaceships like the snow troopers, and we're already in that world of just like, oh my god, this is going to be fucking amazing. It's just like,
and I posted something the other day because Warframe are doing something very similar. They've got their space battles, and now you can help with the ground team, and they're bombarding from above. And he goes, "It's a battle of Endor, fuckers!" And it's like,
I know.
it's
I
like,
know.
well, there you go. It's what everybody wants. So I imagine we'll probably get there eventually with that because people are going to want that.
I'm telling you, one of the best things, everyone here has probably played the original Battlefront games, not the newer kind of loot box surprise mechanic version, but the actual, the proper ones.
No, actually, not that the new games were actually bad, but EA, you screwed the perfectly good game. But they were so much fun, you know what I mean? They were just so much energy and fun and battling and stuff. And I can't wait for a bit of that action on planets and stuff. And again, it always brings up the question for me is like, when I die after 3 seconds, do I going to have to respawn like on the other side of the planet and have to spend 20 minutes chugging over to try and rejoin the fight? Hopefully we'll get that medical, so you'll be able to spawn on the medical spaceship or the medical station, wherever. If you're on the ground, you can spawn in the station, and if you're in the air, you'll be able to spawn on the medical spaceship, which would be cool.
It's always going to be a difficult thing to handle in a game where they want death to mean something. Because to have these battles, you generally, we're all used to being killed quite quickly. So, and to take ground and to make ground, you have to kill people normally to take that ground. So, if the idea is that you're not supposed to be losing your life in this game, it's going to be a very interesting way to see how they deal with it. Because when life has more meaning and you're not supposed to die, then people are not supposed to be throwing themselves into combat like you do in these more arcadey style games. You're supposed to be lasting longer, and so it's going to be. I'm not going up front. I'm not going up front. You go up front.
It's going to be
ground assault with nobody. There's one. Everybody lines up, and all of a sudden, just one bloke goes forward, and he goes. Go on, mate, you got this. You got this. Everyone hiding in lines, long lines, people hiding behind each other. Or it'll be literally like World War II or World War One, where everyone just dig huge trenches and just sit there until the order is to go over the top. You're like, we've got to go over the top again. Okay, let's go.
3, 2,
Today's
1,
the day.
Send out the guys with the biggest armor first. We'll all be fine.
Yeah, exactly. It will be Titan suits, which I was watching Nubifire video the other day. He was talking about Titan suits on Squadron 42 roadmap, which again, it comes back to, like that's kind of be cool. I don't know. Anyway, it was bombardments. It was about bombardments. It was to do with the length of guns, how far weapons can travel now, I think they're talking about. And
they asked for the distance you can shoot. They said when you get bigger ships with bigger guns, it will go further, basically.
It was a dumbass question for me because I just was like, well, it makes logical sense. If I'm in a small ship and I can see you at a certain distance, I should be able to shoot you at that distance. If I'm in a big ship, so the scale
but was it a dumbass question or more of a
dumb
dumb response? Because I think the question they were really asking was, are we ever going to get, like on these smaller ships, are we going to get a bigger range than just shooting 2K? Why can't it shoot 3K, like a better weapon? I think that's what they were asking.
Sniper.
And they were turning and going,
bad question.
No, what you're going to get is when you get a bigger ship, you'll get bigger guns, which will shoot further, which I don't quite think.
Wouldn't it be endless by default?
And they miss.
Shouldn't it be endless?
They should have asked, will we get sniper guns, long distance, long range fighting guns for smaller ships or something? That would have been a far better question. Should have been a bit more specific. Or sometimes, though, Disco does interpret questions
on purpose, Yeah. Anyway, that was a little bit off tangent from the station size, but
Oh, sorry. Yes.
No, sorry. It's all good. Hopefully, we answered the station bit as well. We think we're going to get big stuff. I think we do. Okay, so the second question from Fenrir, which is a little bit more linked to 3.6 as well, is thoughts on the new law system, the auto-fining business, and it's auto-deducting alpha UC from your account.
All right, I'll let you guys start with this one first.
Yeah, right now it's. I actually don't really mind that it will be auto deducted from my account, my savings account, but
it's when I tie it into the real life bank account that it's a problem.
Well, yeah.
PayPal, $12 PayPal.
But the fact that I will be shot dead for just having a parking fine which I can't pay, that's ridiculous but temporary, of course. But it needs to be fleshed out more. In what way, I don't know yet. But yeah, first iteration again.
I think.
What about you, Miss?
For me, I think that the auto fining is it is what it is. I mean, it's going to be changed anyway because, like they said, it's more a first iteration because when you be able to turn off comrades and no one sees you do it, they've already admitted that if no one sees you do it, then you're not necessarily going to be considered flagged as a criminal and stuff. So I don't know how that works if you've got two people in a ship and one rams the other one just because no one's there to see it. Well, the other person in the other freaking ship was there to see it. So whether you get a fine that way or you have to report it somehow, I don't know. So that side of things and kind of will get to where I think it's meant to be. I presume, if you are definitely within an area that you're going to get spotted, you should definitely get the fine, and it being automatic is okay. The auto deducting, I'm less a fan of, and I don't know if this is just because this was the easiest thing for them to do for now. Because to me, it's kind of if they're auto deducting it takes away completely the gameplay of you hacking systems or reducing your crime stat or most people, if they've got a fine, if you're on law abiding, you want to go and pay it. But if you're not law abiding, you want to avoid paying it.
That is true.
You're quite happy to go along with your. Who cares? If you're someone that doesn't give a toss about the law, you're quite happy to go with your bounty or your unpaid parking tickets. Even now, some people will just try. Well, let's not pay it unless I get caught. And so you could be sitting there racking up loads of parking tickets and not really care about it. So I think the auto deducting is bad, as well as you might be someone that's like, well, I've got this cargo run to do. Once I deliver this cargo, I'll have enough money to pay my fine. So you might want to deliver the cargo first, then pay your fine. Whereas if it takes the money away, it's like, shit, now I'm out of a job. I can't actually buy the cargo that I want to transport. So yeah, I think that to me, I don't think that's wrong. I don't think you should be paying it straight away. They shouldn't have access to your funds.
Yeah.
So I'm always murdering people generally within the verse by mistake, completely honest accidents. Like I think, for example, if I had boarded the French streamer, he was streaming his wonderful stream, and I murdered all 6, I think it's 5 or 6 of his crew. That's a 60 grand fine right there in one go. Totally worth it because it was an amazing scene, murdering them all. It was amazing, like just watching them boom, 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 boom. But that's an incredibly expensive 3 minutes of my life in Star Citizen. I'm 100% with you, Miss. I think you absolutely nailed it out beautifully. With I completely agree. It shouldn't be an automatic fine because for me, you're taking away lots of the gameplay. Now, there's a game out there that does this brilliantly. And does it so well that it is Red Dead Redemption 2. If you've never played it, basically it's just like a kind of as if you're in the Wild Wild West. If you commit a crime, you get a bounty put on you, and you get a bounty put on you on the place that you committed the crime. So, for example, if I commit the crime in Port Olisar, within the realm of whatever Port Olisar's realm is, or the UEC, or whoever controls the district, they have put a bounty on me, and there's like there'll be a little post, a little place where you can pay the bounty fine, and they have a little picture of you. And then if the bounty gets up to a certain amount of money, you get bounty hunters after you.
Right.
You get hard, and you can't and in the game you have to set up camp and rest and things like that because your character gets tired, and then eventually you'll fall off the horse. So you can't stay. So and there are times when I'm very tired. My character's tired. I haven't maybe had a rest for a while, and I want to rest. I want to take a rest, and next thing I know is I see 5 to 8 people with dogs over the hill coming to get me. I got to run, or I got to set myself up to try and kill them all, and then it's a battle, and I can lose this fight. Legit, it's not. You can lose it. And then other times I'll be riding on my horse really quick, and then I'll come through. Suddenly I'll go over a bridge, and then they're there. There's 8, 9 people all ready to trap me. They're all waiting for me. This is one of the things I hate about interdiction. Loathe it because I don't think they do it properly. You shouldn't be pulled out of interdiction. They should be waiting for you when you get out of interdiction. They should have them all sat there in a massive trap ready to get you. You don't need to be pulled out of interdiction to be a threat.
Oh shit! They're all here waiting for me.
Oh shit! There's 3 hammerheads, 12 advocacies. They're all waiting for you, and you're like, "Holy crap!" You got to suddenly evade, and there's a big fight, and you got to try and then jump away. Well, because they're right on you. Because at the moment, let's be honest, interdiction. If you get interdicted, they're 20k away. You're just like, re-get my spawn, jump again. It's pointless. So for me, I honestly feel the interdiction is just for show. It's not needed. Honestly, the excitement of coming out and suddenly seeing loads of these dudes in front of you would be far more interesting for me. But back to the law system. So for me, you commit a crime, you get a bounty. The bigger the bounty, the potential you go on the register as well of most wanted criminals within the area. Public enemy, you go on the list.
In that particular system.
Yeah, in that particular system. And whoever comes into the game, you got a huge bounty on you. Your name goes bang on the top of that list. And anyone in the game can go and try and claim your bounty and track your ass to try and claim that bounty when you get to a certain amount. Prior to that, I would say you could potentially have the UEC you could have the UEC do it all the time, or whoever the law body trying to track you all the time anyway. And you could have basically gamers and them trying to track you, trying to get your bounty on you. And the bounty doesn't clear, by the way. It's permanent. When you die, it doesn't get wiped out like it does at Hearthstone. You still have that. You haven't paid your crime. You still have the bounty on you. You have to pay the fine eventually. So for me, like I had like 500,000 in bounties across all of Red Dead Redemption because I did a massive shootout through one of the major cities. I was like killing marshals left, right. It's amazing. I loved it. Honestly, it's the best game I've played in years. And I was like escaping. I just managed to get away, but I had just accumulated with massive death toll of marshals behind me, huge bounty. I can't go back into that city very easily without suddenly like everyone chasing me. As soon as the marshal
use your
like,
save game.
There's no, it's auto. You're screwed. There's no, and I died. And it's expensive. It's like that's a lot of money in the game. A lot of money. So it made me have to work. Like Miss was saying, I had to work to clear my bounty, and I'd clear my bounty in some of the other areas. And now I have this one enormous bounty in one of the major cities that I need to try and clear. But yeah, sorry, that's the ideal. Honestly, if they implement that system in Star Citizen, I think wicked. What a great law system. I think that's what they want to do, and they should follow it because I think it'd be awesome. Sorry,
it sounds really awesome. Yeah,
it is. It really is fantastic.
But that's
really is.
Like they're also
really
deducting the money. It's just it takes all that away. And I think like even from your basic one, like you said, you don't have to necessarily have a bounty hunter on you straight away. It could be something as simple as, well, you can land on a station, but as soon as you go through security, it's like, well, hang on a minute, you've got to pay this if you want to use this station. So you might be able to go and go and work to other stations that aren't under that jurisdiction. Then maybe a little bit further as it goes along, you start getting restricted to being landed. You're not even allowed to land at the station. And then starts, like you said, as it accumulates, get more and more. Then you get their bounty. Then maybe it goes out further for players to do. Yeah, I think that's what we all want. That's kind of like the gameplay that's going to make it a lot more exciting, I think.
Yeah, but and I think Dark Law kind of got upset about the fact that one of his things was like, why did they implement the system when they're going to get rid of it in 3.7? Which I think is my question to you and to chat. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think it's an important piece of coding that they have to put in there first, like a bit of line code, or create some space to put it in? Like, why put it in now when you all know that you're going to take it out in the next patch? Like, it seems
because you're not taking it out, are you? There's still I suppose to get the bounty system to even work to start off with, if you do something that's a criminal act, they need to flag you up as a criminal and charge you for it. So that part of the system's in there anyway. And then if they're going to do that to test that mechanic, there's got to be a way for that to be paid. Otherwise, you're going to be wanted all the time and have problems. So the auto pay is probably just so they can test the getting the fine. And the payment is just because we don't really want the gameplay mechanic for that at the moment. We just want to test you getting fines for doing different things. Maybe they want to test, like how should you be getting such a big fine for bumping a ship? Does it happen every time? Is the right person getting fined when you bump your ship? Is the right person getting fined if you're sitting on a landing pad, or should you get fined for sitting on landing? That sort of thing. It's probably testing the front end of the mechanic rather than the more back end of it. So in 3.7, I presume we're still going to get fines for hitting other people and everything else. So I think it's more that. but you need a way to clear that bounty. You can't just keep giving people bounties and getting shot at by everybody without a way to clear it, which is probably why we get the auto pay, I think.
And that's why you do Evocati.
And that's why I'm not an Evocati. All colourful pictures over here, opposed to somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. Yeah.
Why don't you make it perfect?
Yeah, well, that makes great sense. That is probably one of the best explanations I've heard for personally. I mean, chat might tear you apart like the wild rabid dogs that they are, but I thought that was beautiful. I think that was an Oscar-winning reply, in my opinion. That's good. That's a 5 chainsaws from me. That's for sure. You got a 5 chainsaw review. Boom.
Boom. Mic drop. I can go home now. It's all done.
You can go home now.
Okay. Awesome, the next question, and we'll move on, is from Engel Shatton. We kind of answered this one, but I'll just ask it so he knows we've asked it. Is why did he says his name is I don't know anybody say that. Engel
Shatton.
Don't like.
I just call him
Coulson.
Angel. He's an angel. He doesn't like Coulson. Yeah, he's not happy. The Angel's not happy with Coulson.
Why did Coulson look so tired or beat in Star Citizen Life? It's because you've been hounding him daily.
Angel has turned into literally the angel of death. They're just stalking Coulson's house. He's just like every time Coulson pulls the sheets back, Angel's looking at him.
When he tries to sleep, he's the guy that's standing with like a packet of M&Ms at the window. It's constant. You won't sleep for days. What have you done to my flight mechanic?
Hover PvP, literally, until he goes for a shower, pulls the shower curtain back.
Engel is there.
Hover now, motherfucker.
Go back to work.
Oh god, I could just see the sketches now.
What are you doing in the shower? I hope you're thinking about the new flight mechanic.
Yes. What are you doing in here? You should be working on the flight mechanic. Oh,
he's gonna kick him in the nuts in August.
Yeah, maybe don't.
Hey,
maybe
by the
don't
way,
admit that too much and let people know it's a joke, because otherwise you'll get banned from the event.
Yes, we do not support any sort of stalking, murder intentions, physical harm upon anybody building a computer game. Okay, game. It's a computer game at the end of the day. So,
disclosure, full disclosure.
Yeah, I have in the past said that, CIG didn't fix some of the things. I would take a shit on their lawn. I genuinely won't do that. It's just a joke. I did do it and posted. No, I didn't. I wouldn't. I won't do that if they didn't fix certain things. But it's just that, like I said, everything's a joke, and it is a computer game. And come on, it is. But I understand when people get a little frustrated when their baby gets broken, because we love the game and we really want to enjoy this process as much as possible because it is so beautiful. And there's so many parts of the game that still don't work very well, and we kind of want them to. You know what I mean? It's like we just realize that, like I said, they're so close on so many parts of the game to giving us some of those, to improving the game mechanics that we've got and the game experience we have now with what we have. Because that's the frustrating thing is we have so many bits to the game that still don't work for what we have. Imagine if everything worked as intended in the game right now, how good it would be to play. And then we'd all be just talking about, when's the next game mechanics coming out? When's the next, when are we getting salvage, and when are we getting, all of that stuff? People will be just playing the game.
About that rubbish. Who wants to talk about?
Yeah,
we all want to moan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
that is very true.
Next question is from Cinderella, aka Cows, most likely. What's your favorite shoe? Obviously, there's only one that we're all going to answer, so we can move on straight away. Is the Crocs, because that's the only shoe that you need to have on your feet. It's the only real shoe that's available. Anything else is just a cheap imitation. Okay.
My favorite shoes come from
next
Back to the Future. Sorry, I have to just. My favorite shoes come Back to the Future.
The Crocs.
What? That Nike one.
Sorry, my child is crying.
That Nike one.
The hover mode. You hear the
Or the
hover mode
Crocs.
and he's crying.
Give me Carlson.
Then there's two. The original Nike and the Nike Bruin, which was the Michael J. Fox wore, which had the big red swoosh on the side of it. It was the white one that he wore at the very beginning of Back to the Future when he gets out of bed and he gets the skateboard and he rides behind the car. Although he grabs onto the truck and rides behind it. That's called the Nike Bruin. That
I
was
was
like
too
a
busy
classic
watching the
kind of
film
shoe.
rather than looking at his feet.
Shoes.
It was a famous scene. It just showed his feet all at the beginning. One of the it actually made Nike. Anyway, they were a struggling company, and that really saved them. In the 80s really saved the company. A lot of movies, and then obviously for Back to the Future 2, the mag boot was a big influence for me, and just in terms of thinking like just future and kind of crazy cool. Like, you know, he didn't want the hoverboard and the shoes that automatically kind of.
I did notice the
fasten and stuff.
hoverboard. They were cool.
You know, so those are my kind of like historically they made a big impact on me as a designer for wanting to do sneakers. And hey, I've been doing it, and I've met the guy that designed them, and I got to see his office, and I got to see the original shoes from all of those. I got to see the Nike mag boots in the flesh and spoke to the man who designed them, Mr. Tinker Hatfield, which was very cool. So they have a big impact on my life. Those are my favorite shoes.
I was more into the Blue Lagoon and what's that movie called? Porky's.
Goonies.
Porkies.
Yeah, that was the soft erotic
What's
teener.
that got to do with shoes?
Nothing. I said I was more into the Blue Lagoon and that sort of stuff instead of the shoes of Michael J. Fox.
That was all about taking clothes off those shoes. That's for sure.
Ah.
Not putting them on. Not putting them on. That was about taking them off.
Sorry, got distracted there.
It's fine. It's fine.
Just gonna
Easily done.
Oh,
That will be in
shoes?
more footwear stuff in after hours after the podcast.
Really?
In After Hours Asylum.
Do I have
Yes,
to get all
I will
my
be the
Crocs
only
out
one.
and line them up for you? Is that what you want? Is that really where we're going?
He will not survive.
His
we
face is
make-
like,
we-
you would
we-
literally see him dying every time I mention.
It's
That's so funny.
It's-
We
there's
still need to make little baby
Trigger me.
Asylum Crocs key rings. That is definitely some merch we need to make. Anyway, next question.
If that happens, like I don't know, I don't know.
Oh, come on, you want one. You know you do. Next question is from Dwarden. Which manufacturer do you think will introduce the first medium-sized salvage ship?
Manufacturer. Oh, so obviously we've got the Vulture, which is Drake, right? So that's the introductory one. Which one will be the maybe Outland Industries, the Pioneer guys, possibly the one that did build the Pioneer. That would make sense to me. Like they can strip and also make. That would be one for me. Yeah, I would go with them.
They would go with an Aegis, just a smaller Reclaimer or something?
Maybe. I just think that still, though, there's not enough ships with them, and I think they do a lot of industrial ships. So that's kind of like that's who I think, but could be. Could be a freelancer. You know, could be a MISC. It's possible. Industrial, maybe. I mean, they got the minor, but I'd give it to the Outland guys because they haven't got that many.
MISC doing it.
What's chat saying?
Argo, says Bunsen.
Argo?
Maybe.
That's not who makes the Argo?
Yeah,
they about manufacturer. Argo
That
is made
is the
by
manufacturer. Argo is the
Argo is the
manufacturer.
Argo. Yeah.
Oh, is it? I did.
Yeah.
They were made by. Oh, actually. Oh well. Maybe. I think. I always thought that Argo might do the Titan suit. Then.
Yeah, I
but-
could see them doing the Titan suit, definitely.
But and then maybe they would or give it to Aegis or someone to do a military version, but they would be a civilian version, which would be an Argo, Titan suit, which would be like for loading cargo and stuff. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm really curious. Sorry, just bear with me because I just want to load up on the Robert Space Industries because I really want to have a little look. There's quite a few manufacturers, and I just want to see.
Oh, I'm not. Why am I going to Robert's Land?
Robert's Land. Well, you was because you was on about Michael Jackson earlier on your stream. Michael Jackson's Land. Maybe Chris Roberts has got his own one as well.
Yeah, like that
Chris
was
Robert Land.
Yeah.
Welcome to Chris Robert Land, where everybody takes the Chris. I shouldn't go there. This
Cows was enjoying my Spectrum, because like she was having a hard time with Spectrum with feedback and stuff. Like I consider Spectrum to be Michael Jackson's Wonderland. It's just a terrible place. It's a terrible place. Scary people there. Right, and everyone's giving you Star Citizen juice. Let's have a look Let's have a look at these spaceships. Just give me about an hour, guys, because I've got to navigate myself through the Star Citizen webpage, so we could be here a while.
I've had that as well until Miserable showed up and showed me the way. Download the client, for instance.
What? Download the client?
Yeah, I had a guy in chat when I was streaming, and he was new. He just bought the game but couldn't find the launcher.
Yeah.
So I found a way, like three pages
10
further,
clicks
and
through.
10 clicks, and then Miserable joined. He said, "Well, just go to apps and then
download game."
Okay, 2 clicks.
It's literally though, like we've said. I mean, this is a real old bugbear of us in the website and how bad it is for new players. And we had all this. Oh, look, Turbine, all brand new website, and they did all the new front cover on it, and it's still as bad as it always is. It's like you literally introduce someone to the game, you talk them through it, and then it's like, oh, where do I go? And it's like, up the top.
You instantly feel ashamed while explaining it and showing them through the website.
Even more so when you can't actually find it.
I had it on here. So the guys who make the Mercury Star Runner, the Genesis Starliner, the C2 Hercules, that one. I think that's Crusader Industries. Is that right? Am I going crazy?
Which one? The Starliner is Crusader Industries, yeah. And by the way, that big button that says Fly Now doesn't actually take you to Fly Now. It takes you to buy a pack to Fly Now. It doesn't take you to the download. And plus, it's easy saying, oh, look, there's a Fly Now button. But if you're new to a game and new to a website, that doesn't mean people know download client, download launcher. That's the terminology you use to download a game. Not Fly Now, pick your nose now, go and play football now, drive now. That's not how you tell someone where something is. You literally say download. Simple as that.
Well, I know another game who has the same sort of website, and that's Final Fantasy Online. It's
and what does that say? Farm Now or something?
Doesn't tell you shit.
EA says surprise. That's what EA runs.
Surprise, we've already installed it on your computer while you were looking at this webpage. That's EA's mechanic. You just load the webpage and all of a sudden it's downloading all their games.
Okay, so I would say my guess would be the consolidated oh god, my brain. Every time I click it, the ship page disappears, and it gives me. I didn't want that. I just wanted. How
many screens have you got, and you're looking on your mobile phone?
No, I'm looking on my
my
other one over here.
Yeah, okay.
My tablet. My tablet
on your mobile. And I was like, what?
No. Consolidated Outland is one, and then Crusader Industries, and then Argo. I think will be my three ones. But you never know; they could do Aegis. But I wouldn't want them to. I don't think Aegis deserves it. They've got enough spaceships, honestly.
Yeah,
we don't need another.
Yeah, we don't have salvaging yet, so.
Like you said, Drake's got the Vulture, so I mean, it's potential they would, but
yeah, it could be Drake. Yeah, I mean, it would make a lot of sense on Drake again, a bigger version of the Vulture, but I also think that Drake likes to do things cheap, right? So it would make sense. Maybe a more efficient upgrade would be the Consolidated Outland, because they seem to do things quite well. So, or Crusader Industries. So we'll see. What did chat think? What is everyone thinking in chat? Nothing. So quiet.
I'm more worried about the download button now.
Yeah,
they're more worried about the download button.
When you click Fly Now, I still don't see it saying if you already have a package. It says select your game package to me. I suppose I'm not logged in, so you're probably looking at it from a logged in perspective, and that's not how a new user looks at it. A new user looks at the web page not logged in mostly. So, not left.
Monkey, don't let it eat. Wait till the next one. Don't get yourself salty. It's not worth it. I know this is Frank speaking from great experience. I had to go on a very long holiday to Bali twice to exercise the stress, and I nearly drowned surfing. So I thoroughly recommend surfing for anybody who's the way. You want to get out, Star Citizen out your system, go surfing in Bali. Just woosah me completely. Yeah.
Surfing in the Netherlands doesn't suffice, or why Bali?
Too cold, isn't it?
Do you actually even, can you surf in Netherlands? Is that even a thing? I don't know. I've never even noticed.
Sure.
Good.
Windsurf?
Really?
Well, not only with a board only, but with like
a sail.
A sail.
Kite.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not quite. I don't know how to do those. I'm sure I could try, but it would probably just seem.
I don't know. Neither.
It's bad enough drowning, like I literally, I don't surf, I drown. So the idea of me like with the sail, and you just literally just watch me disappear.
I just see him
like,
knocking himself, he'd be holding it and just smack himself in the face with it.
It'd just be gone.
It'd be like,
it would be. It would just be like the kite one would be worse. Literally, you just watch me just fly away.
I could just imagine you jumping, and it's like, hang on, am I supposed to come back down again? I don't know. Just fly off into the distance, gust of wind. It's like,
I'd be like, where's the pew pew guns on this? Then I would be okay. Right? No. Where's my joysticks? Joystick up this bad boy. We're good to go.
Yes, right. We're off topic again as always.
Yeah,
always off topic.
What else was on Inside the Verse? What else did they say? Because I'm not being honest. Hang on. They're going to have a break again from Inside the Verse, right? And they're having a break now from live.
Well, no. Only Inside Star Citizen, right? That's on the hiatus for like 3-4 weeks. And
I thought live's having a break as well.
Really? Oh.
Check me. Am I wrong, chat? Yeah, I can be wrong.
I don't know. I haven't heard it. But
we need that wrong emote.
What? There's more tickets for sale? Are you trolling? They haven't announced any more tickets.
More tickets for sale.
Really?
Of course. Tickets. Let's have a look.
Roll up.
We're being trolled.
Get your tickets. Get your tickets now. Get to see madness on the Cowls on the JRDF booth.
It's actually the BritizenCon booth, I think. There's zero left. There is no tickets.
Get to
troll.
See.
People.
Oh, Rambo, you bastard!
Such trolls. Why? Just
says add to cart.
Of course, it says add to cart. There's none left though. So when you go to buy it, I go
Friday.
There isn't any.
Friday, July the 12th. They'll go Friday, July the 12th. CitizenCon tickets will be available to buy.
No, Star Citizen.
No, that's Star Citizen Live. Don't confuse us now.
Wow, you really go. Yeah, it's that time again. He's getting to the point.
It's a teleprompter. I just say whatever's written in front of me. Star Citizen. Has the second sale begun and gone? Yeah, I think it's all gone. No, I don't think the second sale went, just the first sale went.
The second sale hasn't been, and no, it's not on July the 12th. No, you don't come here for all the misinformation, because that's what you literally turned up right at the worst time when someone's going, oh, tickets are on sale. Oh, yeah, the 12th of July. No.
We tried.
Let's start again. Rewind for 10 minutes, right? Okay. No. We've set up this channel so that we could find the moles and the rats and the people that follow us, that give us misinformation and look stupid on stream now. Now we know who they are. You watch the ban button appear.
You're using the wrong emotes, Mad Rambo.
Suckers. We now know who you are. Now I know why.
Whip them.
I also now know why I was hiding you for over a year. Now it all makes sense.
It all becomes clear.
It all becomes clear.
Okay,
Yes.
Star Citizen
So,
Live.
so is it banned? Is it still happening then? Live must be. If it's not
Yes,
the one on
live's
12th of
still-
July, then
Live
there
is
still is
happening.
going on. I thought they said they were taking a hiatus, but I guess they must have been talking about the other one then as well, rather than live.
Yeah, I think it was only
When
Star
they said
Citizen.
hiatus, I thought they meant everything, but yeah, it's not. It's just the inside
Just
Star Citizen.
inside.
Which is
Got to
not a
save
great
themselves
loss.
those
let's
8
be
minutes
honest.
every week.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a great loss. I don't feel like I'm, like, it's not like before. Like, if they had said, like, the old ATVs of 45 minutes were going before, I'd be like, heartbroken. But it's like 8 minutes. Maybe that's, they've done it on purpose. Maybe they've deliberately reducing, so they can, then now they're doing test runs of chunks when they don't even do it. And then eventually.
So when you do get it, even when it's 8 minutes, it's like, oh my God, we got something.
Well, it's not even 8 minutes if you take into account that
Disco has to have a
4
little dance at
minutes
the start.
disco jokes. Yeah, that's not really helping.
Do you know what they're doing? I just realized, oh my God, it just becomes totally clear to me. We are addicts, like being addicted, and they are like the patches you get. And then they're slowly reducing the amount of Star Citizen nicotine we get hit with
until we get
so
no
that eventually
information.
they're weaning us off them. They're weaning us off the development program.
Right.
We need to start. This is unbelievable.
So they're going to stealth go into closed development.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to just suddenly, we're just going to get like one little puny little talk show at the end of it, at the end of the week for like 20 minutes. That'll be it. 20 minutes.
Don't worry, you still got us to come and listen to talk nonsense, so it's fine.
Yay! No, I mean, genuinely though, like, again, no jokes aside, they literally, it's embarrassing. I said this last week and I'm going to say it again. It is embarrassing. One, the webpage is embarrassing, but two, it's embarrassing, yet we still haven't heard anything about what they're going to do for the subscriptions, because they said weeks ago that they were going to do something for the subscribers. What are you going to do for the subscribers? Because you're really, if you're taking 4 weeks off, you're reducing your video content, but the subscribers are still giving you all this money. What are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing for them? You got to, again, this is one of those frustrating things. It's like, why we don't need surprise, we don't need it.
Everybody likes surprise, apparently, according to EA.
No. Not when it comes to making nearly $2 million, whatever it is, a month. I know it's a month. They make a lot of money. I think maybe it is $2 million a month or something from subscriptions. I can't remember. There's someone. There's the figures were out there last year. How much they made on subscriptions? It's a lot. A lot of money. More than enough to cover the cost of running the show, in my opinion, based on what people have told me about. And then more than enough to even 1 month to probably cover the cost of CitizenCon as well. So the 4 weeks that they've taken off easily is going to pay for CitizenCon. So why the fuck am I paying $100 for a bloody ticket?
You're paying £100.
Yeah, how the what?
Well,
I'm paying £100 for a ticket.
I'm one of those persons who says, well, I don't mind paying them, and even without the content, I would subscribe.
Shit, if I knew I could run my Twitch channel like that, I'm not going to stream. But please, everybody, just subscribe to it. It's fine.
No, but it's more like it's they're breaking their promise. They're making content, weekly content. They should be with the money of subscribers, and they're actually not doing that very well. So yeah, that's what I got problems with. But even when the game goes live, and when, let's say, they will have a subscription service, I will pay for it because I want this game to be financed and supported, whatever. But yeah, breaking the promise is just what makes it really bad in my eyes.
You're financing the video content, not the game development.
I know. No, but I said I'm even willing to pay a monthly subscription, just for supporting them without the content, if it was necessary.
You mean, I think what you're trying to say is, if they just said, subscribe to us to help support the game, you'd be happy to do that. It's the fact that they're saying, subscribe to us so we can make videos, and they're not making the videos is the bit that you're not happy with.
I'm not happy with the fact that they are breaking a promise. Yeah.
So if they just literally blatantly had a button that said, give me £5 a month for nothing,
I would pay them.
You would do it.
I'm not for development of the game.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, again, it comes back to the honesty, and I think again, the problem is they can't do that because obviously they can.
I don't know why.
They could.
They can
do
indeed.
it. They could just say
Support
they could
us.
just do. Here's the donation button, like we have on Twitch, like a tips button or whatever, and people can just throw in however much money they feel like they want to throw in, and they could make it a monthly thing, and you could become a monthly donator, and you could help build Star Citizen and donate. And I'm sure lots of people would do that without even blinking an eye because they want this game so badly to happen.
Yeah.
And many people will call you a fool or crazy or a scam or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's your money, your life, your decisions to make, and no one can. I think that's up to you. That's completely up to you. But I agree, 100%. Like, why can't we just know what the plan is? Like, again, the beginning of the year, we're taking 4 weeks to plan what we're doing for the rest of the year for video content.
I thought that's what it was. I thought that
they changed the name
was meant to be so that they could plan for future content. And now it just turns out that they need that gap because they're busy on a patch. Like, that's not what you said. It was because you said you needed to plan to make better content going forwards, and instead they thought, no, hang on a minute, we can get away with having a 4-week gap every month, every quarter.
These are the things that get salty with. So, like for chat, like we're getting salty. I'm getting salty not about the game. I'm getting salty about the garbage that goes on behind the scenes sometimes. That's the bit that frustrates me more than anything else. Bad web page and terrible communication.
Yeah.
I mean, considering it's the backers that keep chucking the money into them and keeping this alive, it's like you would think there'd be some better, clearer communication. I mean, this is an old thing that we've moaned about for so many times, is the communication. And then someone goes, oh, we're getting information. It's not always necessarily about information about the game. It's just communication about what the hell's going on. It's like you just say, right, we're going cold for four weeks. For what? So is it going to come back and be called something different in 4 weeks' time?
They've gone. It's cold because obviously the developers, the ones for whatever reason, they obviously can't give up an hour or two or whatever it is of their time. They need to focus on developing and stuff. But then again, seriously, if I went into my boss and I was like, I've done all my work. My work's done. I've done my work. And can I go? I'm just going to go home now for a couple of hours early. Maybe actually I take the next couple of weeks off if that's okay, because I've done all my work. I don't really, or I need to. Yeah, I just done all my. It's done. My boss would look at me and be like, well, why don't you try something else, or why don't you do this, or why don't you do that, or why don't you creatively think of something else, or why don't you plan and design something else for the future? Or for me, I feel like it's like the creative team there that gets paid and make all this money. There's Disco there, and I've seen a few other people behind the scenes and some of the video guys, and I've seen in my industry guys go off and do super cool videos and do other there's so much creative things they could do in that time that's not going to affect the devs. Do you know what I mean? They could do some cool things. I'm sure they could put their heads together and think of some fun things to do. That would be, even if it was just Disco on doing his on tour or talk, or I don't know, anything talking about Star Citizen or no, okay, maybe not, but that's a bit too far. But I don't know, they could do a D&D session where they do Star Citizen D&D, because I know they love D&D and they do it in the evening sometimes and they play D&D. They could do Star Citizen D&D live stream role play Star Citizen or something, and they could do all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of
live games that I'm thinking I know Warhammer, is it not Bethesda? Whoever does Warhammer, they do a stream almost weekly, and it's just showing off their game. There might be a bit of a discussion about patch notes. They're already a game that's released, and they're not showing behind the scenes stuff, and they're still managing to stream stuff and to show things going. And so it's realistically, it's they could be doing content. There's content they could do,
even if it's not interesting for everybody. Because they are mainly focused on graphical stuff, and that's when everybody's starting to applaud. Oh, nice, looks good, great, and it is looking great. But, and I say it again, I was so pissed off for showing us the networking team, and all they did was fill the content of that show with, oh look, we went to CitizenCon and we did this and we ate that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Show us the stuff.
Yeah.
That's another show wasted in that. In that way.
I agree. Like, I mean,
Plus
they've
all
got, like,
the-
a huge team. Show us Squadron 42 stuff. Show us there's teams out there that are not going to be busy doing the patch stuff that they're working on now. There's going to be people who are doing other things. Surely we could see something like some concept art, maybe. Do a show where we just see all the beautiful pictures do a history. Here's the history of the last 7 years. Do a walkthrough.
They had the lore thing as well, and then they stopped doing that as well. The lore chat and
the language guy. Bring the language guy back. Bring the music guys back. You know, maybe like one or two of the music guys, or maybe have us do like a day with the music guys, like bashing. I don't know. I
put JRDF on there, and they can talk about. I mean, John could talk about days about his CNC machine.
Do a tour of the CNC machine. Day 1, CNC machine. Day 2, CNC machine. Day 3, packaging the CNC machine. But I mean, there's so many. Like, go take us to the face tech guys who are doing the face tech guys, like who are doing all the face rigging. We haven't heard shit from them. They said they came out of the woodwork.
Got one.
And they said that we're going to do it. Then they said they were carrying on. They still got a relationship with CRG.
Even like looking at old, for like we said before, like it's nice to see comparison of where they were and where they are now. And like someone, if he's got no time or no dev time, he can get someone to sit there and edit that together, because that's what they're getting money for, basically.
Just do it. Yeah. Honestly,
anyway,
let's lazy.
Because it's like,
no excuse. Yeah, sorry, flogging a bit of a flog, but I genuinely, I honestly,
it's shit.
You wouldn't get away with that. I don't think in any like, if you were doing a video production studio for anybody else, like the boss would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Get your ass in there and give me some product, give me some content. We need to keep creating content for our loyal fans, you know, who come in every week to watch."
Yeah, maybe we are just making it too easy for them.
Money.
We keep giving them money.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, but the problem is people just like exactly like you just said exactly. Not the problem, but you said exactly the thing is, I want the game to succeed. I want the game to succeed. I don't want to pull the plug, because the one thing you don't want to do is everybody just pulls the plug on it because of frustration, and then all the money just goes. And then
that's what I want to know, basically. It's
like the banks.
2-3 months ago, that a lot of people just cancelled their subscription. I want to know if that
how much of an impact it had. Yeah,
or what kind of impact was there? Was there any? Wasn't there? I don't know.
They don't share the information, so it's one of my biggest, again, it's my frustrations.
That quote from the hearing, that information is marketed sensitive.
Yeah, sensitive. Yeah, sure. I'm sure it is. It's marketed sensitive because they don't want us to know.
It's free to play.
Yeah. They don't want us to know because it's. I mean, they, like I said, you can dig it out now. Supposedly, if some clever person does actually know how much, please feel free to chuck in chat. But the information, I think, is out there to gather, at least to be able to gauge roughly. And like I said, it's a whopping amount of money. It's not chump change. It's a whopping amount of money, and that's probably one of the reasons they don't want it out there. Because who's to say they might be skimming off the top? If Star Citizen is costing them a lot of money, they could be skimming. I know they're saying they don't, but like we don't know. They could be dipping their fingers in the cookie jar. You know, literally. You know, it could be like, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Could you imagine like, oh, we haven't quite hit the amount of money that we needed to generate at this time, but there's 6 million in the freaking subscription kitty over here.
Someone's got to pay for the concierge dinner.
Yeah.
You know? So we don't know.
Open development monkey says, well, yeah, that's another thing I've got huge issues with. I don't find it open development because they're not showing you everything, because they're just afraid that when something gets pushed
surprises.
Back,
they like surprises.
But they shouldn't be. Like, look what happened with the ships being in game. I don't think that's made an impact to going to make an impact to people buying concept ships. When the next concept ship comes up, I think they'll probably sell more. Honestly. And when the anniversary sales go on live, I genuinely think they'll sell more of the spaceships because people would have flown them and gone, I really like this spaceship. I don't want to rent it.
I think it's like the whole, I mean, we're not a game, and so just releasing surprise stuff, it's not like the people that are following this game and playing it daily, weekly, whatever, they're people that just want as much knowledge as possible. They're not here for the surprises, really. We're not here to be surprised with you can now fly this in the next patch. It's because it doesn't have the same impact. Like I said, that impact would be the same as when they announce it on the roadmap. Oh, that's coming. People get excited to look forward to it coming. Like just turning up one day and it's out. Okay, there's a little kick like, oh my God, that's amazing. But that amazement would still have been there if they told you a month before that it was coming. I don't really feel this surprise that they keep going on about is needed. I think that's just an excuse not to talk about it, basically.
Yeah,
but they say they like to surprise people, but who are they watching to see that surprise? It's not like you're out at Christmas Day when you're watching your kids open a present. That's surprise. They're not sitting there watching us get a ship and going, "Oh my God, it's a new ship."
Yeah, they will surprise me with server meshing if they release it next week, right? But
it'd be a surprise, but also at the same time, we would fucking like to have known about a month ago so that we could get excited for it. So.
Yeah, and I agree with Dirk Fenrir in chat. Is that just knowing that stuff is on the horizon is exciting, and to show us the stuff with no promises of any dates or whatever, how can we be upset? Well, there will always be people who are upset. Look at the current VTOL. Even version 1 isn't completed yet, and they're already complaining about what a shit show it is. But yeah, you have to ignore that and grow a thick skin and just continue with developing. And yes, if something doesn't make the build or the final game, that's developing. Things like that happen. And if you are talking about open development, you have to show us that as well. But they just refuse. They don't do it. I asked, and it's just not in there.
Right, we got a couple more questions, and then we'll round it up for tonight because we've got to do an after show podcast.
We've got to do a quick trial. Yeah, we're
so we kind of gone on a little bit longer.
5 minutes trial.
We've got so yeah. So Mad Rambo asks, what will happen with Rec? Or what do you want to happen with it?
Good question, actually.
Rec personally, I think will probably stay as it is and will be part of, the idea is if they obviously implement these is it not HABs but virtual pods or whatever within the game, Rec ultimately will be part of that game within a game world. That's the way that I envision it will stay. It's possible they might use it in the verse for the new currency for renting. It's possible.
No, I think they're going to use normal credits for renting.
I don't think. Actually, no, that makes no sense at all, man. You're right. Go back. No, I think they'll just keep it in the Arena Commander and Star Marine. Yeah, I think it will just stay as is for the time being. I think it will stay.
I think it's just going to be exactly for Arena Commander, and then obviously they want to eventually incorporate Arena Commander bigger into the game, like I said, with the pods and stuff. So it'll be, maybe you'll be able to get ships cheaper in there because you can't actually take them anywhere. So it'll be a cheaper way to rent them, or you can get your rent credits quicker. So
what's more interesting for me is what they do with the spaceships, because at the moment the spaceships that I have in the game, I can also have in the arena. I've always found it really weird that the ships that are in the real one that I own are also in the computer game version. Like,
I don't think that's weird. That's like you buying it's like you buying a physical game and then you have a digital asset in game. Like, say you sometimes you get collector's editions and there's a little model. It's like you then having that in game to represent your little model. It's if you own it, it's like if you imagine it as you going to own something, and they say, well, because you've got this ship, if you want to try it without breaking it, here's the digital copy for you to upload it to your Arena Commander, so you can practice flying it without actually flying it.
I didn't think about it like that. I didn't think about it. You've swung me. That makes a lot of sense now. You said it like that. I'm like, Oh yeah, because I was thinking more like a kind of a real car, like a car thing. Like if I had the car, I wasn't thinking digital assets. So that was you've explained it. Yeah. Again, 4, 5 chainsaws for miserable right now. Unbelievable. He's on fire. He's on fire. Incredible. He's on 10 chainsaws already. Unbelievable.
Okay, and the last question was from MK19, who says, "Does the Asylum team have a team mascot? If so, is he and she run your marketing team?" No.
Ooh,
Do we
I haven't thought about it yet.
Do we have a team mascot?
No. We're open to mascots, depending. I mean,
some of the ideas that are running in my head, some of the things that are running out in my mascots are the orange Xbox controller could be quite a good one. The see-through Xbox controller mascot.
Beautiful. I said pretty ones, Bunsen.
No, but I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like I'm always torn because chat sometimes if there's no capper at the end, I'm always nervous. You know what I mean? Because they could be like serious. Are they serious? Are they serious? Not serious. What do you guys think? Should we get a mascot?
Well, we've got our individual one, so I don't know what a team one would be.
Straight jackets.
Well, give it some thought.
We will. That's an interesting question. Say it again to me.
We're giving it some thought. Yeah.
Read the question again for me.
Does the Asylum have a team mascot? If so, is he and or she run your marketing team? I don't know if he was taking the piss because we didn't advertise the Asylum being on this channel too well. That's probably more likely the case.
But I advertise a bit on my channel. We put a tweet out literally as we're going live.
Yeah. But not all
we have mentioned a few times.
Yeah.
We did, hey, if you watched it last week, we advertised it. It was on the YouTube. The links are on the YouTube channel. If you watch this every week, I'm hosting the channel. I streamed today. I talked about it today on the stream leading up to it. I did quite a little bit, but yeah, we could have done a bit more. Always do more. If anyone wants to be hired for nothing, to be a marketing campaign person, they're more than welcome. If anyone wants to give up all their free time and work for us for no pay, hit me up. You'll be a perfect member to the Asylum because you have to be crazy to want to do that, take up that job. So, but yeah, for sure. What do you mean I'm not hosting?
You didn't host? Oh,
wow!
It says on here. It says unhost. I'm hosting.
What are you hosting? Are you hosting a different channel?
You probably.
Even worse.
I'm not. I'm hosting the right channel.
Shh, Bunsen, don't do that. Don't do that, Bunsen. Oh, he called me out in chat. I may have just hosted. Your time zone's wrong. No, I hosted an hour ago. It's only 11 o'clock for me. You can't sub here, Brim, because we're not even affiliate yet, so we've got no subs and stuff.
No, we haven't set up. But it's all the links you'll see it's all ready to go at the bottom there. We're kind of, it's all been beautifully laid out. The page is all set up, ready to go. So we're I mean, I think we're probably ending now, but we're just the one of the exciting we're just gonna end it now. The exciting thing is we're really looking forward to doing the after hours section of the show in a bit. We're gonna have to end it because we want to practice and see if we can get something out for you guys on YouTube. Us talking about some other things and just having a chit chat like we do now, really. But obviously talking about games and other games and
not
topics.
Star Citizen, unless there'll probably be a peppering of Star Citizen, but it's mainly about other stuff.
Yeah. We'll probably bring things in. Star Citizen will probably come into lots of points, but it'll be mostly about other things, which I'm excited to talk about some other games because there's some amazing games coming out and teaching me about computers because I have to build a new computer. So I think one of the topics on the list that we're going to discuss at some point is Ryzen's and AMD and the rise of AMD versus Intel and all that good stuff. So should be fun.
Cool.
Should be fun. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, just watch this space. If it comes out on YouTube, you knew it went well. If it doesn't come out on YouTube over the week, you knew it sucked.
You know enough.
I needed heavy editing, and we'll be working on it later. So, thank you. And thank you for everyone that's followed, by the way. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
think
been
we're
awesome
already...
tonight, the support and everybody coming over to the new channel and following. Thank you. My emails have been spammed to death in a good way.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So cheers,
Love the
guys.
raid.
And
Superb.
hopefully this will be easier for you guys to find us every week, being on this channel.
Yeah.
So you'll know where to
Yeah.
look. We'll set our bots up to spam it in our Discords as well, because I forgot that. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah,
all.
we'll
As always, much love. Thank you all for following us and our support. And we will see you next week for next week's Asylum. Take care all.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Cheers, boys, girls. Bye.